What's up, guys? Only use me blade. Mario reference. So how you doing? I don't really care. Sorry about that. I just it's just this weird thing where people. Here's the thing: when people ask you, there's drunk people and there's sober people, right? And when people ask you how are you doing, a drunk person will quickly tell you how they're doing if they're having a bad day. If someone asks you how are you doing and you're not having the greatest of days or there's nothing really great to report, you're just like, oh, I'm doing fine, you know, and you just leave it at that. And it's the I'm doing fine is like, you're probably not doing fine if I want to dive deeper and detective into this, but I don't. It was more of a formality of that's something nice to say when you see people. So, and it's interesting because a lot of people, sometimes there's like subscribers and people that send messages, they're like, Blade, how you feeling? Like, you haven't put up a video in a minute. And they're just like, I'm lately, like last year or so, I've been really self-conscious about what I upload, and I want to make sure that it's either funny or it's actually a worthwhile commentary and not just like a filler video just because I need to put a video up. So that's why like the regular things like this Sunday I was this same gameplay right here. I was going to do the Sunday chill commentary, and I just wasn't in a good place, and there might have been like a small portion of you that, you know, that would have been like, oh yeah, I want to hear Blade get deep. I want to hear Blade get philosophical. But honestly, I was just kind of just down, you know? So I didn't think that it would be good for a commentary. I don't want to be a fucking Debbie Downer, you know? So, and then what I've realized is that when there are downtimes, how do you normally combat with that? And a lot of it, what it is laughter. Like laughter is such a drug. It's such a medicine that actually makes you feel better. And it's really interesting. Like, what other thing could you do that if you do it too much, you're gonna cry? Like, have you ever cried from laughing because you've been laughing so fucking hard? It's like, I don't know. It's just like, it's that release, and it just feels good to laugh. And through all like the boring, like when I watch reality TV shows, a lot of times people say, oh, these people in reality shows are sluts or whatever. I'm just like, well, no, you don't understand. Not sluts. These people in reality TV shows are crazy. I'm like, well, if you were to film someone for an entire, you know, every single moment of the day, and you have a week to fill 40 minutes, you could fill 40 minutes with stuff of me. You know, I'm not saying I want to be on a reality show. It would be pretty boring. You know, I'm pretty laid back. I'm kind of docile. But you could fill in like these little moments, and I was just thinking about like all the moments that like I've laughed about, and you know it's a really good moment when you laugh about it, and then later on you tell other people about it, you tell them, and they laugh, and it's just this. That's a really cool way. It's like, if I see you in the bar, there's a guy that might be, you know, he's just super down, you know, looks like he hasn't shaved and just might be super down. Or you can see somebody has a fucking funny story. You want to hear the funny story and have a couple drinks. And I know I'm talking about being in the bar. That's just because I just got the new job working as a bouncer at a different bar than the one I worked at before. And so it's like hot chick bartenders and this one dude bartender who's hella cool. And so at the bar, one of the chick bartenders goes outside, so I'll go out with her, and there's this like RV that pulls up, and we're going, what the hell is this? And the little sliding glass door window thing slides open like on a school bus or something, and these old ass broads are like super wasted, smoking cigarettes and drinking like wine inside of this RV that's like supposed to be a party bus. Like, I thought it was a party bus from inside because it looked like a huge ass thing, but I got out, it was just like a huge RV. And so this gaggle of drunk people stumbled out. I'm like, wow, these old Golden Girls are hammered. God damn. So I'm like, this is gonna be fun. Now I know that the rule is if you're annihilated, like as a bouncer, if you come in and you're absolutely annihilated, I can't let you in. And I know it sounds retarded, but it just is what it is. If you're absolutely annihilated, I can't let you in the bar because it's going to be problems, and it's going to be too much of a headache, and it's against the rules. Like, no one can really be hammered, you know? and there's kind of a little grace period with that. But anyways, so these old ass bitches walk into the bar, and there's like two husbands and three old ass broads, and they go in there and they're wasted, and they honestly look like they're reliving their 20s. And so they go out on the dance floor and they start dancing to a 50 Cent and Jeremiah song, "Put It Down on Me." They're dancing to it out in the, out in the dance area, and everyone that's sitting like at the bar and at the tables and stuff like that, and then the little sections of the bar, they're all watching them and laughing their asses off. They just thought it was funny. Like, some people were like, no one's offended. They're like, holy shit, these old bags are hammered and they are dancing and they think they're 20 right now. So the one male bartender, he comes down to me. He's like, hey, are these the only ones that came off that party bus thing? I'm like, yeah. They're like, we can't serve them. I'm like, I know we can't serve them, but they're hilarious, dude. Like, look. And so he's like, I know, this is pretty awesome. So he goes back up. So I see the moment where the lady's like, hey, damn it, let's get some drinks. So the ladies, these two ladies, old ass broads, walk up to the bar, and I'm talking about like they're like 55 to 60, like that's their age, like they're old, and too old to be going to like a nightclub, you know what I mean, like this kind of nightclub, where everyone's like has backward baseball hats, and like girls are showing not showing their titties, but like cleavage is showing, and like, you know what I mean, like it's like a hip hop. Anyways, so they go up to the bar, ask the bartender for some drinks. The bartender's like, sorry, you guys, thanks for coming in, but you guys are really, really wasted, and liquor control board situation says I can't serve you. Sorry about that. You guys can dance, but I just can't serve you. They're like, oh, fuck this. And they immediately got mad. So they went to the back of the dance floor, the group together, and the husbands were like, honey, we are pretty drunk. Let's just go. Let's just get a taxi. And she's like, no! She's all pissed off and feisty and shit. And so they're all like leaving. So they're all outside. And one of them dropped like a bracelet or something. So I brought the bracelet up. I'm like, look at this ridiculous bracelet, dude, to the bartender. And the bartender's like, oh, let's go out and give it to him. Like, he just thought it was funny, right? So we go out. And first he goes outside and I'm right behind him. And the bartender's like, hey, anybody forget a bracelet? And the lady's like, the lady who was pissed off inside, she's now outside. She got kicked out of the bar. She was like, no. And you tell that fucking bartender dude to go fuck himself. And I kind of giggled, and because that was him. That was Greg. That was the bartender, And Greg's like, I'm the only male bartender, so I assume you're talking about me. And she goes, well, fuck you too then. And we're like, all right, you have a good night, lady. Bye now. And I'm dying. Like, I was bored like earlier until all that shit happened, and I'm like, this is why I enjoy working in a nightclub. Not for the once in a lifetime opportunity to see some shit like this. So I'm just laughing and shit. And the lady comes up. She's like, honey, you were sweet. Just the people that you work with are kind of assholes. Is there any way that we can come back in? And I'm like, you're not allowed in. She goes, well, fuck you too then. And I'm like, okay, have a good night, ladies. And like, close the door and just walk back inside. And man, I was I was fucking dying. Like, just to those kind of moments, just like if you were doing a reality TV show, if you think like all the time you're like maybe depressed, maybe you're like, I'm kind of mad at the game that I'm currently playing. I'm not really liking it, and there's a lot of things in my life that I'm not necessarily happy with, but who isn't? And I like the fact that I can look on the awesome. I guess I'm supposed to stop the commentary, but let's keep on going. I feel like the awesome moments are way better to look back on. You know what I mean? So, actually, I got a letter from somebody that said that he saw me near a Red Robin, and it was really funny because like I actually went to Red Robin with a buddy of mine. And first off, it's really weird when you go to like if you're with a homeboy and you're like, hey, let's go get some food, and you go to a restaurant and they seat you, and I always get this feeling that they think that we're like gay or something, and that's not the case at all. It's just that's my homeboy, and we're fucking grabbing something to eat. And so his ID's expired. He's obviously old enough to drink, but his ID's expired. So he's like, oh, I'm just gonna order a fucking like strawberry lemonade or some shit like that. And the bartender looks at me, not the bartender, but the waiter looks at me and is like, hey, do you want, what would you like to drink? And I'm like, let me get a Jaeger bomb, and let me also get a lemonade. And he's like, you want a raspberry lemonade? And I'm like, and I like panicked. I'm like, yellow? And he's like, regular? I'm like, yeah. And I don't know, just things about that just makes you laugh. And then actually a fan messaged me saying that he saw me at the Red Robin. I'm like, just come up and say hi. If you recognize me in a lobby, recognize me on the streets in real life, just say what's up. That's all. That's cool. Like I don't get the whole idea. If you think it's me, like what's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean? Like what's the worst that can happen? People are just gonna look at you weird. Fuck them. You don't know them. You know what I mean? Like people are always so weirded out by embarrassing themselves to strangers, and it's just like, why? I don't know that person, and I understand that. And also, if you think about it, if you do make a really like what I mean by that is just like I put myself in that fan shoes, and it's just like, man, if that guy looks like a guy I watch on YouTube, that's pretty cool. And I go, if I wanted to go up and say hi to him, there's nothing wrong with going up and saying hi to somebody. And even if you go up and say hi to that person and they say, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about, they'd be like, I'm sorry, wrong person, and then you move on. Like I saw an Asian guy the other day, and he looked just like this other Asian guy that I knew for years, and then I haven't seen him since. So I went up to him and I go, is your name Al? And he's like, no. Okay, bam, move along. So I don't know. Like I appreciate my fans. The last video I put up where the fan was freaking out, I did plug him on mic and say hi, but when I get on Call of Duty, I like to just relax. And I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this. Probably going to put some different gameplay on the background, maybe some shooters. And I want to show you this Black Ops play. That's nuts. All right, guys. Peace.